Welcome to another episode of the Funky Marketing Show. Today, I have a pleasure of hosting a really great guest, somebody who is subject matter expert when it comes to the LinkedIn, when it comes to the social selling, when it comes to using LinkedIn for sales, knowing the algorithm and all kind of different stuff, and one of maybe two people that are actually doing the deep research when it comes to the LinkedIn. So let's just play that funky intro, and then Richard van den Blom is joining me here. Hey guys, thanks again for being with us here for this episode. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Nemanja.
Thanks for taking time to do this. Just couple of days before, I was seeing all over the LinkedIn people saying, it seems like everybody has an ebook about LinkedIn. Everybody has their own recipe, how it's going, but not many people are actually doing the research, seeing what are consistent things that are happening, what's behind them, and those kind of stuff. So I'm excited to have you here and to talk about all those stuff. But first, please, man, introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about you.
Okay, cool. Well, my name is Richard van der Blom. I was born in the Netherlands. I'm currently living in Spain. I have a sales and marketing background, traditional sales and marketing. When I started to work in '99, a lot of cold calling, a lot of cold emailing. I started my own company in 2009. In the first year, I targeted entrepreneurs, salespeople, and I tried to help them like how to identify clients, how to have a great sales call. And then in 2010, I decided to do actually the same things, but only with the use of LinkedIn. So then I implemented LinkedIn in my sales training and my marketing trainings. And that actually rapidly evolved into having a training and consultancy company fully dedicated to LinkedIn. In the first 5 years, we also did Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But since 2015, I am 100% dedicated to LinkedIn. And currently, my core business is to train sales teams of companies B2B and marketing teams, also companies B2B. So that's what 80% of my time I'm busy training, providing advice to both sales departments, sales professionals, and marketing departments.
Sounds good, and I think lots of companies need that training, right? As it's something that I'm seeing here, because we also work with companies or sort of helping like create the hub inside the company that will help them, use LinkedIn for their advantage. And it's mostly marketing on one side, and on the other side, it's employee, those kind of stuff. Not that much with sales, but it's one platform, and we all need to use it in a different way.
Yeah. The two things that we get the most requests for is at this moment is either sales navigator training. Because a lot of companies, especially during the pandemic, they have bought the sales navigator seats, but people don't know how to use it. They send an email or they click or they make a search, but it's not about the tool, it's about the strategy you have, your content strategy, the way how you engage. So a lot of companies, they see very poor results with Sales Navigator, and they call us, can you help the people to embrace Sales Navigator as a tool to reach out efficiently to our target audience. So that's the first thing. Second thing is we are currently working a lot with companies that have opinion leaders, like principal consultants, and they want to brand them as thought leaders in their market. So we're also helping people to become a thought leader in their market, because as you probably know, being a thought leader, being an opinion leader, it's a massive sales tactic, because you get a lot of inbound leads if you are seen as a thought leader or opinion leader.
Yeah, exactly. I was just having a call with with a new sales guy that is coming to the company that I'm working with, and he's like, can you guys maybe influence that the CEO finally starts becoming active so I can actually do my job better and have better
Yep.
results? Because
Yep.
when you have some posts, when you have thought leadership over there, when you have CEOs sharing things about leadership, investments, leading the company, it's easier for somebody to do the outreach.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you mentioned a very good point. One of the things we always discuss before we start working with companies is C-level involved, yes or no? Because if we talk about digital leadership, all C-level, whether it's CEO, COO, CIO, they need to be out there on LinkedIn. They need to understand the power they have when their profile becomes active, when they share the right news on LinkedIn. It makes it more easy for your salespeople to reach out if you have an active board on LinkedIn. So that's a very good one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm seeing it, is even make or break, depending how much, if you are trying to engage the whole company, and if the leader doesn't do it, it doesn't lead the way, the rest of the people won't do it, won't follow.
Obviously. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So tell me, what's now the state of LinkedIn? Where we are right now? There has been lots of changes.
I,
What's
I,
working?
I,
What's not? How do you see it?
I think we are like at a crossroads. I really think that. I had this morning another call with a company in Australia about the future of LinkedIn, but I really think we are on a crossroad. Especially in the last, let's say, 1.5, 2 years, LinkedIn has been developing and launching a lot of new features. No, we have
Yeah.
LinkedIn Live, we have LinkedIn newsletters, we have LinkedIn audio. There have been some real changes to both LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Campaign Manager.
And even I would say in people structure, because for example, like I'm one of the creators and I'm having a guy in LinkedIn that reaches out to me like every 2 weeks and asking me how they can help me achieve my goals, for example.
Exactly. So they're really making an effort. What worries me is that I see that the people that make massive use of LinkedIn, like you, like me, they move on, and the gap between those people and the vast majority, let's say 95, 96% of the LinkedIn community, increases.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you an example, if we talk about LinkedIn audio, I've been on several audios in the beta test. I don't have it myself, but I was invited. And to me, it seems the same like Clubhouse. I tried Clubhouse for 3 months, and at the end, I found myself in interesting rooms talking about LinkedIn, but I was always talking with the same people in the room. Those were not my clients, not my prospects. Those were like other LinkedIn experts, around the globe, which is interesting, but in order to like attract the attention of my clients, it was not a very handy channel. And I see the same with LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
audio. And I see the same with a lot of new features. And now, especially with the creator program as well, content creator programs. So the 1 to 4% that understands the platform, they are like accelerated, but this means that they will simply increase the gap between the vast majority, the people that log into LinkedIn once or twice a week. They maybe like content, maybe comment, but they don't publish content, and they will see
Mm-hmm.
like all these things happening on LinkedIn. And if they get lost, they lose interest, they trust the platform less, and that's where it becomes very dangerous, because all the marketeers, all the entrepreneurs, all the salespeople, and again, we can create content, we can reach out, but if the target audience stops responding because they lose interest, then we all have a problem. So I think we're really on a crossroad, and I think there are some serious issues now with LinkedIn. The amount of spam we get, the amount of spammy invites, the amount of irrelevant in-mails we receive is huge. Automation, it's forbidden, but on a daily basis, I get like 2 to 3 invites from automated people, badly targeted, and this seriously harms the trust in the platform. So I think we're really on a crossroads, and I think LinkedIn should step up their game in protecting the members to make sure it's the people's platform. All messages are like personally written instead of like robots. bots, automation taking over.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, also having in mind that, with whom we're interacting outside of the feed, so inside the inbox matters. And looking from that perspective, the inbox is totally unusable right now as it is designed and everything. Like, so I wanted to ask you, because for example, like, there are a couple of tools that people are using to helping them organize the inbox and followers, connections, like Lead Delta on some others. So are you using some of those? What do you say about them? Because I'm thinking specifically about the tools that doesn't go against LinkedIn rules. So those that are kind of the extension of what LinkedIn doesn't have yet.
First of all, I totally agree. Inbox is a huge, huge disappointment. I, especially after I launched a research, for example, when I published the algorithm research, I received around 200 messages a day. If you try to find a message back in it's useless. It's buggy. Sometimes if you go back, it just stops and then skips 3 years. So that's
Yeah.
one of the things I really hate. I have seen in the past 2 tools that could organize your inbox. To be honest, I didn't use them, but I'm currently looking for one. So if you have a suggestion, because I'm not against tooling. I use some tools. I'm against automation. But if we have a tool that organizes my inbox so I can respond more easily or can prioritize more easily, I'm totally in favor of that one.
Yeah, I was checking lead data because my friend is actually coming up with it, and basically it has tags that helps you organize the people, and it doesn't
Great.
give you a chance to I don't know, send hundreds of messages. It goes, I think it's 25 out of once, because not far out of what LinkedIn gives you permission to do. So
Yeah, cool.
in that way. So when we are talking about inbox, here's a good question that we can add up. Nenad is asking, what are your experiences with video messages in DMs?
We have my personal opinion and we have what the research is. My personal opinion is I rather have a text message from someone than a video message. I don't know if it's about me, but I prefer to read something than in order to click on a video and wait until somebody has spoken to me. In our trainings, we do show people that, for example, as a follow-up message or as a welcomes message, it could be very handy to send a personalized video message. So I'm not talking about recording something like a pitch and then sending it to all your new contacts, but if I would connect with you and I would follow up with a video and say, hey, Nemanja, great to connect here with you. I look forward to hear more about you and your services. That could actually help. So I see that a lot of people respond positively to a video DM as a follow-up on a contact. I also have some clients that use them as a follow-up on a proposal. So we have sent a proposal, we don't have a response. Hey, I'm going to send a quick video, 20 seconds, where I ask you, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm waiting on your response. So personally, I prefer text messages, but that's about me. But I do see the added value or a video DM if it's not too pitchy, not too spammy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I use I have integrated LinkedIn and Drift video, so I can create, but I don't use them that much. I use video mainly when I'm sending a proposal in an email, when I can record my face and going to the proposal, so nothing is unclear over there, and they can see my smiley face, and it goes. It basically, I think I didn't ever hear the rejection when I do something like that.
No. All the research also shows if you make a personalized video, it creates trust, because if people see you, they hear you, especially if it's personalized, it has much more emotion, much more commitment, engagement than a written text. So I can again, I see the added value of that one.
Yeah. So, okay, one important thing is what's happening with the algorithm. Are there still two algorithms, one for mobile, one for desktop? Are there any changes? Because I think seeing more or less the same things in how my posts are performing, and I'm not changing that much, but I'm seeing basically the same things. It all depends on the way I structure it, how much heart I put into the post, how much structure and value I give. And also, one other thing that I wanted to hear your opinion about is the reach and how big thing is the size of the audience of the followers that we have. Does it affect it or not?
It's not that I'm like every week checking the algorithm. Obviously I see things happen myself. I see, for example, that LinkedIn has finally decided not to boost polls anymore. Okay, the poll madness has stopped, luckily, because I went really crazy. Another interesting thing is that we have heard and we have seen a decrease in number of views on video. So video was obviously also boosted in the algorithm.
Yeah.
They started to boost it in 2019 at the same time that they made video a possibility as an ad, in the marketing campaign manager. They said from now on you can boost videos. If they boost something in the marketing campaign manager, obviously they need to boost the organic content as well for people to see more videos, because then, marketeers are thinking about, hey, we need to do a video ad. So I see a decrease in video views. I see a decrease in polls. There are definitely some changes, because sometimes I create a post and I really expect the post to have hit high numbers, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I see also more and more people doing tests themselves to understand the algorithm. And yesterday I saw someone in my network creating a post. It was again about how to create more visibility on LinkedIn. So he created a post. He had a slide deck where he used information from me, from Andy Food, from people who know about the algorithm. And then he kept commenting on his own post. So he kept commenting, tagging people. Hey Andy, what do you think? Hey Richard, what do you think? So at the end, he had 170 comments, but 100 comments came from himself. And he reached 40,000 views. Okay, now the question is, you reach 40,000 views. LinkedIn does not show you unique views. Okay, so if somebody looks like 3-4 times on your post, it's counted as 3 different views. Also, I was wondering, because how many people do you need to annoy by commenting constantly on your own profile in order to get an amount of views? Because I post my posts, I respond to questions, but I'm not going to put 10 comments below my own post in order to spark a conversation. Because I got mentioned, for example, 25 times yesterday, and at the end it was really annoying me. I saw all these notifications, the same guy mentioning me again. So what I do see, Nemanja, is that people try to gamify the algorithm. They know that comments work. They know that tags work. In the end, I still prefer having 2,000 or 5,000 views and getting 1 or 2 requests for proposal than to have 40,000 views with the same people and nothing happens. So it's not only about the numbers. One of the most important KPIs I have with all my content on LinkedIn: how many one-on-one conversations do I get from this post? That for me is the most important KPI.
That's great. That's great. I love it. One thing that I can add, maybe what I saw working is, and I'm not able to do it every week, but having posts for your target audience, but at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks, having a post that will resonate with everybody that are following you. So a bit wider, and actually that post will allow you to keep talking to your niche, because
I agree.
they will see it. It will bring up the other posts.
Yeah, definitely. And also, but a lot of people understand that now. Next to my content strategy, where I publish content, I also have a specific strategy in how I comment on content. I comment on content from my clients, if they have something new, if they need more reach, I'm there providing a comment in order to give them more reach. But also, I'm looking for interesting on-topic discussions, whether it's about Sales Navigator, lead generation, virtual selling. And I always comment on these relevant discussions, because if you use comments in a strategical way, it's a great way to like increase your visibility. You get a lot of connection requests, you get a lot of new followers, because people see you are adding value to interesting posts.
Yeah, I agree, and then you can see, if certain opinion gets attraction, you can expand it in a post and get more people to your profile.
Yeah.
That also works. Did you also see? Because this is something that helped me grow the account. Not engaging with everybody, but engaging with people on the posts of like 3 to 5 people that are, let's call them influencers in the niche. They have lots of comments on the post that are related to what I'm talking about, and they can be my peers or they can be somebody going towards the same target group as me. So basically, taking over the audience from them.
Yeah, that's interesting, because everybody increasingly on LinkedIn is looking for attention. No, you need to get the attention, you need to grab the attention. And since more and more people are publishing valuable content, it becomes like almost a rat race. No, I need to stand out and I need to
Yeah.
gain the attention. Um, I, for myself, I'm purely speaking about my own story. I have some do's and I have some don'ts. I have some people in my network, for example, if they create a post, even if I won't see it, they will send me a one-on-one message, which I can see that it's not only for me. I can see in how they text. It starts with hi, comma, I've just created this post. I would really want your opinion. This is like something you can copy paste and send to 50 people, okay? So for me, that's a no-go. If I publish on LinkedIn, I will never send a one-on-one message to somebody, hey, please respond. If I like
Yeah.
to have somebody's opinion, I will tag him in the post and say, hey, Nemanja, what do you think about this post about digital marketing on LinkedIn? Okay, so then you have the pods, of course, where people join a pod, they publish content, and they get auto engagement via likes or via the small comments. So I do have I do have like an inner circle of ambassadors. I know that if I'm going to publish content, I always have the same 10, 20 people that will comment on it, because A, they like my content, B, they want to show their expertise on my post as well. And by doing so, getting more eyes on my post. With this inner circle, I also do the same. If I see a post from people in my network, in my inner circle, I always take time to comment, because for just as an example, Andy Food, John Espirin, a lot of people on Alexander Lowe, Richard Bliss, a lot of people in my inner circle, they publish relevant content, but we all have our own expertise. We all have our own target audience. And I help them to comment on their posts, because I really think their content has a high quality. And so everybody can more or less create his own inner circle. Those are the people that are going to help you create more impact. But please don't go out and send messages to people, hey, do you like to comment? Or publish a link in a group and say, hey, I just published this post, because that's not the way, in my opinion, how you build authentic engagement on your post.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, what I meant by this, it's not by tagging them and asking people to give the comment. I mean, your content needs to be on point, clear, and give value. And basically, with commenting or with connecting with people who are reacting to the post similar like yours, if they are already active, they will be active on yours if there is a quote as well.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
definitely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I see in the chat a question from Paul about creator mode. Now we have
Mm-hmm.
researched creator mode. I think there are some slight differences now, but we researched it. We published the research in September. A lot of people complain about creator mode and say, hey, since I switched creator mode, I saw a decrease in views, decrease in engagement. Now, most people, when they ask me, I say, okay, how long have you turned it on? And they go like, no, I switched it on 2 weeks ago and I see a decrease. 2 weeks is not enough. I've seen a positive impact on creator mode after I had enabled it for 3 months. Okay. If you enable creator mode, make sure you have a frequency of at least 2 posts a week. Because if you switch on creator mode and you don't publish content in a high frequency, it's not going to bring you anything.
You are not a creator, basically.
No, you're not a creator. No, exactly. And you know, I see now people switching on creator mode because they want to have access to the newsletter, because they think like that's the holy grail. I need to have a newsletter. But if you don't produce insightful content, so also if the quality of your content is not good enough, it will have more disadvantages than benefits. For me, it works perfect. Since I switched it on, I have gained like 2,000 connections, but I've gained nearly 20,000 additional followers, because obviously you have the follow button primarily on your profile. And just to be honest, I rather have more followers than connections, because connections, for me, it needs to be mutual. So I get a lot of followers. They simply follow me because they think like the content is great, they can take great value from it. But I don't necessarily need to be connected with all of them, because we have a limit of 30,000 connections, and then it's it. And followers are unlimited. What I do, because some people tell me, no, but I would rather have them as connections instead of followers. Every week, I go to my new followers and I just select the people where I think, hey, this could be like a great addition to my network. I reach out to them and say, hey, thank you for starting to follow me. I've seen your profile. I would really like to connect with you, because that's like a stronger connection. And everybody accepts. So I get more followers, but I do select the people amongst my followers that I think, those people I want to have as a connection. So
same here. It's good to hear that there is a good practice.
Yeah, and people still say, no, creator mode does not work. It does work if you provide insightful content, if you have 2, preferably more posts a week, if you have a great newsletter, if one of your goals is to build your tribe, then creator mode is a must-have. But don't expect anything to happen if you switch it on and you publish content once every 2 weeks, because then it's not working. Okay, so.
Yeah, I agree. John has a question. Interested to hear more about KPIs beyond just for one post. What are you looking at to know if your LinkedIn content strategy is working?
Yeah, it is a good question. First of all, I do not gate any content. That's a question I get a lot. Also, when we work with big clients, their marketing department, traditionally they want to have the blog or the report or the interesting article on their website. They create a post on LinkedIn, and then they have a LinkedIn where they have an external link to the website and say, and there I need to leave my details, my data, in order to get an ebook. It's madness in an era where everybody is looking for content on internet, on LinkedIn. It's madness that we still think that we need to gate the content. So I get, for example, a lot of questions about the LinkedIn algorithm report where people say, why have you published it for free on LinkedIn? Because I would have paid for the research. Or why don't you gate the research? Because then you get all the emails and you can follow up. I've never done it. To be honest, if I launch the algorithm report, as a result, I can give you like a big list of new clients that came because the algorithm research was free. It was shared over 2,000 times. It got like a huge amount of visibility. And that's the best, in my opinion, that's the best content strategy you can have. If everybody talks about your content, eventually it's a no-brainer. People will find you and say, hey, that's great. We want to know more about your business. We want to have you for like an internal workshop for our marketeers or something like that. Back to the KPIs, one-on-one conversations is for me a very important one. Followers is a very important one. I know that my content is working if I gain a lot of new followers. Inbound emails that we are getting is one of them. And also sometimes even like Google traffic, LinkedIn traffic to the website. So are we getting more clients to the website? Again, we do not have gated content, but of course we also want to have people visiting our website. So I'm not looking for views. I'm not looking for KPIs on engagement or that, but I'm looking on KPIs that convert to encounters, meetings with my clients, whether it's a video meeting, whether it's a connection request, whether it's an email where people ask for, our businesses.
Sounds good. I see. Like I was just talking this morning with Alexander from Funky Marketing from my company, and we were talking about how people are coming to our website. But we don't remember when was the last time we shared the link to the website. I share something directly to the YouTube. Okay, and I wanted to ask about that because I see the decrease in everything since we shared the link to YouTube. But also like people are coming to LinkedIn, and when I look at how much time are they spending consuming content compared to others that are coming from different platforms, like the ones that are coming from LinkedIn are the ones that are actually interested in reading the content and then converting to schedule a call.
I always see a big difference, and also clients that keep track of that, they see that people coming from LinkedIn to your website normally convert 3 to 4 times more than people coming from Google, because people on Google, they are doing a comparison. No, they Google something, they don't have an ID, they see 4 links, they click on the first link, click on the second link. But if somebody sees your post on LinkedIn and you trigger somebody to click on the link to the website, it's a different phase in like the awareness funnel. We have an awareness funnel. It's a different phase. I visit your website because I liked your LinkedIn post. So they convert more to, for example, demo requests, downloads of materials you have on your website, or even a button where they can schedule a call. One of the things I also did about a year ago, in my featured section and at the bottom of all my newsletters on LinkedIn, I always have a Calendly link. So I always say to people, hey, if you want to have a 15-minute free consultancy LinkedIn call, just schedule it. Now, some people, they say like, yeah, but then, if a lot of like, for you, irrelevant people book a call, it will cost you a lot of time and you don't see any revenue. No. In Calendly, I have made a flow chart, so I send people questions up front. If they don't answer the questions, the call is canceled, because I want people to be prepared. If I make 15 minutes, my time is also very precious. So if I make 15 minutes free, I would like to have your questions so we can have a very efficient call. In the questions that I ask and in the answers, I can already see if this is going to be an interesting lead, yes or no. Okay, so I do try to funnel this also via Calendly. But to be honest, the biggest client which we are currently working with came via a Calendly call. The digital marketeer scheduled a call. I have some questions with our companies. I provided answers that made sense. And then she said, hey, maybe you can make a proposal on how you can guide us in this journey on social selling. We made a first proposal, we did some trainings, and then now we have a big contract with that company. So that's also a very good KPI. Does your content convert directly to people scheduling calls with you, yes or no?
Exactly, totally agree. What I've been doing a little bit differently is the same Calendly link, but I had Calendly on my contact us page on the website, and I had 3 different ICPs. This is who we are working with, and then they can schedule a call with questions and everything. So additional qualification, and basically they can see if we are one of these 3 companies, then you are the right fit.
No, cool. Because what we are both doing, I do that with my questions. You do that with, is that you need to make sure that it matches your target audience. Okay. And I'm perfectly fine in helping a student, for example, for 15 minutes. I do that sometimes, but I do not have the Calendly strategy to have 8 meetings a day with students, with all due respect. I want to meet, I want to trigger my potential clients in order to book a call with me so I can show my knowledge, I can emphasize our added value in order to, I use it as a funnel, let's be honest,
Of course. I mean, I'm doing the same. And what you said, it's good because I keep repeating it. It's good that somebody else says it. You can qualify people based on the questions you ask them pre-signing up the form or scheduling a call, and nobody will say anything bad about you if you cancel based on the
No,
answers. They are not the right fit. You can say just I'm sorry, but you are not the right fit for us. Maybe you can recommend somebody else or something else, but you
I
can see
do.
everything.
I get a lot. For example, what I don't do like one-on-one consults, or everything we do is with companies. But I do get a lot of questions from people. Can you have a look at my profile? Can I like pay you for an hour to have a consult on my profile? And I always respond, because not responding is rude. I always respond and I say, thank you for reaching out. Here is an ebook. Here is a checklist. I do not provide this kind of service, but here are 3 names that you can consult. I'm perfectly sure that they can help you. So that's also part of my strategy. I always respond, even if your question is off topic, even if you ask something that I respond, and I'll guide you in my network. That's also part of my strategy.
Yeah, totally agree. There's a question. Let's kind of help answer it for a beginner. So Angela says, question for when there's a chance, if we are consistent for a while, then our posting drops for a while for personal reasons. Does everything I've built go back to zero? I've seen everything drop to almost nothing after 2 weeks of rare posting.
Um, If it drops back to zero, that would be very harsh. But yeah, if you, for some kind of reason, personal reasons, or you are on holiday and you have, after publishing in a certain kind of frequency content, and you stop doing that for a few weeks, you lose, I call it, you lose credits. You lose credits with LinkedIn. There is no system, you cannot see it, but you lose credits. So this means if you start reposting after several weeks, the first post will see less views, less engagement than before. It also works the other way around. Now, this is very interesting if you talk about content strategy. A lot of people do not like the personal post on LinkedIn. You know, they say like, oh, LinkedIn is turning into Facebook. I don't like these personal stories. But all engagement numbers are going through the roof on personal posts. I don't know if you've tried it, Nemanja, but I've made a post about my dad. I've made a post about my dog. I've made a post about me having like 2 weeks off because I need. All these posts get huge amount of likes, huge amount of engagement.
Yeah.
So those posts actually help. If you publish a personal post and you get a lot of engagement, a lot of views, and the next post is an in-depth, like a thought leader post or a post, you can see that you will get more views from LinkedIn based on the previous success you have. Okay, so yes, LinkedIn does take into account the results you have had with your most recent content. And if you don't publish for several weeks, you lose credit, and you need to like revitalize your content strategy. You need to like to gain more visibility again.
Yeah, I totally. I'm seeing the same things, and basically when it was like in January when it was Australian Open, I had a post about Djokovic,
Yeah.
and I made it on purpose because I knew that people will disagree. There's Djokovic issues in Australia, totalitarianism, sports, politics, all the things that people can never agree on, and. I posted it, and I got into conversations with people because I just wanted to explain my point of view. They explained theirs, and basically for like a month and a half, I had increased engagement on other posts based on just on that, or maybe reach, not engagement, but reach.
Yeah.
So yeah, but. I think we agree on that, but I just want to confirm that we need to have a healthy mix of private and business things that we are posting. And what I like to do, I like to use examples from from my private life to explain some complex things, or maybe have a business post but have different kind of more personal photo attached to it, because and I wasn't the guy who was doing that, but I saw that it gets results sometimes, and it's good because it's always creates trust. Because like especially when I had the agency, now we are more into consultancy, but we still go from below zero when it comes to trust, because they are the demand is huge. There are all kind of people doing all kind of services, and the companies have a lack of trust. So with that way, they can, get to know us, and
Yeah.
that's also like videos had played a huge part in that, because they can see the accent, they can see if I'm confident when I'm speaking, those
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
The thing is that a lot of people think that all the content you publish on LinkedIn needs to have the same goal. Every content I put on LinkedIn needs to bring leads. It's impossible. You cannot,
Yeah.
if you want to have such a content strategy, it's impossible. You need to have different, we call them pillars, categories of content, but they all have a different goal. Personal content, for example, does not bring you leads, but it strengthens the relationship with your already existing network, and it makes you more approachable. This happened to you. People approach you because they want to discuss, your opinion about Djokovic or about vaccination or whatever. Thought leadership content, so content where you emphasize your knowledge, has as goal to build your followers. People start following you because you provide them with additional insights. And so every pillar has a different goal. And the success is in the mix of your content strategy. You cannot have success if you only have personal content, but you will also not succeed on LinkedIn if all your content is about the business. It does not work that way.
Totally agree. So where do you see LinkedIn go from here? In my
Uh,
opinion, it's gonna like stay the go-to platform for B2B for a
I,
long time, because there's nothing similar in that way.
No, no, but that's like the luxury they have. I said it this morning also. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see a new platform emerge that fast that takes over 800 million B2B, or at least working population, and like provide them with the same opportunities that LinkedIn does. So I think in the upcoming 2-3 years, there will be like LinkedIn will be like the main B2B platform, business platform for us to go. Um, the risk that I see, like I already told you, is that if the vast majority of regular users are not going to LinkedIn anymore, are not responding to messages anymore, because one of the things I hear a lot, especially from C-level, is that if we discuss LinkedIn, they go like, I don't respond to that anymore because I receive like 10 emails a week. They're all wanting to sell me something. So I have stopped looking to LinkedIn. Now, if this is going to happen to more and more people, then they have a problem, because as soon as the vast majority is not active, if all the numbers go down, average time that people spend on LinkedIn, average time that people check their messages on LinkedIn, then obviously marketeers will stop making campaigns, salespeople will stop sending emails. So I think the only competitor from LinkedIn is LinkedIn itself. If
Mm-hmm.
trust and credibility is gone, then they have a problem. I don't see another platform like threaten LinkedIn in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way I see it as well. And what about the pages? I see changes in LinkedIn pages that even rhymes, but I see some of them going really up. We are trying something as well on the Funky Marketing page, like doing the competition for the best marketer in the region.
Yeah,
Uh, Polls are working really well on the pages.
yeah.
That's what I can see, and it gives me the opportunity to kind of stack in some videos, leading people to the YouTube, to some of the articles, because polls are getting more people on the page.
Yeah, yeah.
And I see also, like, I don't know, CXL is doing great with some gifs, with some different kind of stuff. But what are some things that you are seeing that are like persistent?
Um, I think LinkedIn really stepped up their game when they talk about company pages, because like until 2 years ago, we couldn't see who followed our page. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't do like, for example, multiple pictures were not possible on a page. So all the things that we could do on a personal page, they were not possible on a company page, which makes no sense. So over the past 1.5, 2 years, they really stepped up the game. So now you have like product pages, which can be very useful. you have the live event page, as you told, you have LinkedIn Live, you have now the LinkedIn newsletter on company pages. So I think one of the main target of LinkedIn is to make pages more interactive, to make the page as the first encounter with your company for your new clients. And I think that companies that have a really good content strategy and a very strong employee advocacy platform, they can really make a difference, because you need to know how to work with your company page, but you also need your employees to be the best ambassadors because they get more reach. And there are huge opportunities now on a company page if you start using them, both organic and also paid.
Yeah, especially as the company grows, you get a lot more options over there. And as people stated, they work in your company, like the reach increases itself, like the number of followers just grows. You don't have then this like 100 that you can invite, but it grows more naturally.
Definitely, because if for example, if you get your employees to comment on your company page post, their network will see the company page post and also the follow button in their feed. So it's very easy. If you have your employees to comment on the post you make as a company, they will increase the number of followers just from within their network. So there are like 10, 20 different strategies to grow your page, to grow the engagement, but it all comes down to publishing the right engaging content. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, somehow when we post as a company, we tend to step outside of everything that we know that works on a personal profiles.
Yeah.
Somehow we do it a little bit differently. Let's see what we are having. Two questions. Angela asks how important it is the newsletter for creator mode. Is it necessary to start one? How often should we publish?
Newsletter depends on your strategy. I think 98% of the LinkedIn users should not have a newsletter, because a newsletter means that you need to create high quality content. You're going to get subscribers, but you need to put out a frequency like monthly, weekly, bi-weekly. Mm-hmm. And it's not at all difficult to launch your first newsletter, because you have an ID, you have a target audience, so you write your first newsletter. But I can already see a huge amount of people that create a newsletter that haven't issued a new newsletter in the last 2 months. And they say, I'm going to produce a newsletter every 2 weeks. So it's not about getting out the first, it's about consistently be able to produce a high quality newsletter to your network. So again, if you are not used to produce content with a certain kind of frequency, it has no use to start a newsletter, because it will be another content channel you need to fill. It will take time, it will take energy, and if you're not used to that, it will not bring you any results. So, I would always say start with posting more often in your feed. If you succeed in that, if you see that people are engaging, then you might consider starting a newsletter in order to have your own tribe. But LinkedIn does not show you who subscribes to your newsletter. So I have, for example, 20,000 subscribers, but I don't know who subscribed. That's for me also one of the big things I don't understand. I have 20,000 subscribers on my newsletter. I have 4,000 people following my hashtag. I have, what else do I have? All these things. I have people ringing the bell on my profile, but I don't know who they are. So that's something I do not understand, because data is key. And I think LinkedIn should provide us with the data, because then we can follow up.
Yeah. Well, you said it all. I don't need to add anything else. But here's an interesting question. It might be an add up to what we already talked about. Rigoberto asks, when it comes to the differences between professional and business content. So don't you think it's better to keep content professional and try to be more creative and find the perfect professional content instead of posting personal content? that is in some way you can be distracting and confusing for potential client, or I think that's what matters is quality, not quantity. What do you think?
Excellent question. I have two things I would like to say in that question. First, it has also something to do with culture. I know that because I'm working internationally. I work with companies in the United States, in Europe, in Asia, in Australia. It has to do with culture. For example, in the DACH region, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, people respond less to personal content because they see LinkedIn more as a business tool. In the United States, in Australia, people like to share personal stories. You know, as an entrepreneur, I need to explain to you how many times I fell on the ground, how many times I messed up, because that brings you a lot of like status, no? So sharing personal things has definitely something to do with culture. Some cultures like this, some other cultures have something like, no, that's private. Exactly 1 year ago, oh no, a bit more than 1 year ago, my father was diagnosed with stomach cancer. I live in Spain, my parents live in Holland. I'm the only son, I'm the only child. So I struggled with that. It was in the middle of pandemic. I could not travel very easily. I do not have Facebook. I do not have any other platforms. So what I did when my mother sent me a picture of my dad, I published this picture on LinkedIn, and I made a story because I really want to get it out of my system. And I said, like, this is my dad. I'm very proud of him, but we are both struggling. He is struggling with his health, and I am struggling in finding the best way how I can support him during this journey. And it was on a Saturday morning. I created a post, picture of my dad, and it was really from the heart. I really wanted to share that story. What I didn't expect, Nemanja, was that this was the best performing post I ever made. I had 400,000 views. I had 3,000 likes. But more importantly, I had over 200 one-on-one messages, mainly from my clients who only knew me as their trainer, and saying, Richard, I didn't know about that. I'm sorry to hear. My mom had a saying, if you would like to call me and discuss like, how we dealt with it, please call me. So here you see the advantage of sharing personal content. It was not that my friends or my social network responded. No, my business network of clients responded, sent me one-on-one messages and say, hey, if I can help you. So this is what I mean, that sharing personal content also strengthens the relationship you have with your clients. And this is maybe a very, very strong example, but I think there is room for personal content on LinkedIn because people like to read stories. People like to know more about you than only your like safe business personality.
Yeah, great example. Thanks for sharing it. I see the same, especially now that my company is called Funky Marketing. Whenever they see the name, they ask what it is for. I like funky music, or when I explain them that I played basketball, that there's a hip hop, there's a history, and I have this like, if I can compare my brand to somebody, it's like. Marvin Gaye playing at the Los Angeles Coliseum. It was the first time that he played the national anthem in his own way, like with a funky style and everything. He wear the glasses backwards, and it came after the big struggle he had. So he didn't care about all of that. He just came in and sang, does his thing, and he outshined the performers. It was the all-star game. So when I share those kind of things, it connects the personal and the business goals.
Definitely.
Yeah, and differentiates you with all that. And also, like what we didn't mention, connecting with on a personal level with the clients, but also like if you persistently post some things business related that you are doing also for other clients, your existing clients will see that and maybe ask you, I'm getting those questions, I guess you are as well. Hey, I see you are doing this with another client. Is this maybe the good thing for us to do as well?
Exactly. And when I'm providing training to salespeople, and salespeople, they go like, no, I don't want to share personal stuff because that's not what LinkedIn is about. Okay. Then I ask them, okay, if you were going to meet your potential client for the first time, so maybe you go to his office or you have a video meeting, what is it that you do in the first 3 to 4, 5 minutes? What is it that you do? And they go like, well, in the first 3, 4 minutes, I do the introduction. I try to find some hooks, some interest, to connect. Okay, so you're not talking only about your business. You're not going into the call saying, hi, I'm Richard. I'm just connecting. I provide trainings. Let's talk about the training. No, you go like, hi, Nemanja, where you from? You're from, I can see a nice book at the back. So we are all looking for hooks. Personal content brings the hooks to your audience to contact you and to connect with you on a personal level. So I really like it if my clients put out a picture that he's on the golf course and he's enjoying his first golf course in 1 year after the pandemic, because then I know, hey, this guy's into golf. So if I want to have like a connection, I need to address that I'm also playing golf, something like that, So where salespeople know that they need to create a connection on a personal level, they still, when it comes to LinkedIn, feel reluctant, hesitant to do it. That for me doesn't make sense.
Yeah, same thing is with with writing content and everything. Seems like when we do it from the laptop, from desktop, when we start typing in, somehow we go into being more formal. I don't know why.
Exactly.
But I always say, like, write as you're writing in a chat to somebody, or as you're writing SMS in an informal way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What's one thing that you want people to take away from this, and where they can find more information about you? I guess they're all following your LinkedIn. Is there something additional that they can follow?
No. As it is, we are redoing our website. So our website is sorry to say, but it's very shitty at the moment. We haven't paid attention to it. Actually, our business has growing more rapidly than we could manage. So we are doing a new website now, and to be honest, 90% of all the people I meet come via my own LinkedIn profile. So people can find me on LinkedIn, Richard van der Blom. They can follow the hashtag. They can subscribe to the newsletter. They can connect with me. I really like that. So LinkedIn for me is the main channel to go.
Sounds good. And one message for everybody for the end.
One message to everybody who's listening. Very easily, see LinkedIn as a huge opportunity to meet interesting people, whether they can be your clients or whether they can be your ambassadors or whether you can learn from them. But one thing, if people ask me, what is the biggest advantage of you being on LinkedIn for like 15 years, is that I have met so many great people. I have traveled to so many great countries to meet people that I would never have met if it wasn't for LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, we can all meet people from across the globe very easily. And if there is a match, well, a lot of good things can happen. So just see LinkedIn as a huge opportunity to network, meet interesting people. And from there on, a lot of things can happen.
Great message. I had the same experience. People say that I was lost, so it's good we having people following. One thing I can say for the end is, guys, it's now a good moment to go back to the beginning of the show and step by step listen to everything that Richard has to say. We went back and forth on so many different topics, so many tactics, gems, and strategies. Go back, listen to those things, start implementing, and then go back to him, to me, say if it's working or not, or maybe there are some things that you figure out that we didn't figure out when it comes to the LinkedIn. And for the end, to the next episode, Richard, thank you for being here, for taking time, guys. Keep it funky.
Thanks.